What a beautiful sunrise, Rabbi. I enjoy your view.
Thank you, Joe. It takes courage to do a lot of different things. And I think that is a neat topic for us to bring up. Courage.
Well, there's the courage to climb a cliff like that. I see no equipment on the person behind you. But the nice thing about being out there all by yourself on the rock face is that you can say anything you want and not worry about whether or not you're going to offend somebody. However, what about when you're at the party or in the crowd and people are talking and all of a sudden you have that urge to say something to agree and go along with the conversation versus that impulse to say, wait a minute, you're completely wrong. What kind of idiot are you?
Um, Joe, the courage to be disliked. I think that's very worthy of our attention. As human beings, we want everybody to like us, even people that might not agree or might want to admit that. People want to be liked. I'm not talking about someone disliking you because of a cartoon or someone taking issue with what I said in a sermon. That's not it, because that's professional. I'm talking about the very common idea that I'm a people pleaser. I want everyone to like me, not professionally, and not even at a party or a gathering where you disagree with opinion. I'm talking about how harmful it is, and I see it all the time, that people want to please other people because they want to be liked. And therefore, they order their own life and activity around pleasing an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a neighbor. And it hurts the person doing that. The common expression is being a people pleaser. But I'm flipping that around and saying, have the courage to be disliked. Have the courage to be you. Don't order your life. Don't do things. Don't make a decision based upon pleasing a particular person or a group of people. Have the courage not to order your life around pleasing other people, making other people happy. And I'm not talking about intentionally insulting people or saying or doing things just because they won't, just to get them not to like you. That's not it. This is very, very subtle, Joe.
Well, I do know because sometimes I have been accused of doing way too much for other people and my motivations are questioned. And so motivation, I suppose, is a part of it. Do is it okay to be nice to other people if you just see it as a good thing to do and not because you want to be liked?
Yes, treat others as you'd like others to treat you. Don't do unto others things you don't want done to you. Certainly. But
So where at what point do you know you're doing it for the wrong reason? Where you want to have that t-shirt, everybody will heart me, and wear it with pride.
um, because you are unhappy, you order your life around it. You spend a disproportionate amount of time. If you're going to do a good deed, you just do it. But if you find you're thinking about it and planning it, and then when people don't like you, you're unhappy, you're sad, and you sit down and eat 5 gallons of chocolate ice cream or Rocky Road, or Moose Tracks because you don't feel right, you have to have some type of comfort. You know what? Our own bodies and psyches are the best barometers about what's harmful to us. If we begin to watch our own behavior and the things we do, we'll pick up right away that I'm not doing the right thing or not acting appropriately because it's the right thing. I'm doing it because I want to be liked. And that's how you can tell before and after how much it's destructive, how much it hurts me, and then how much I have to be comforted after I'm not accepted.
And I see it in relationships a lot between especially young men and women dating and how I often see one side of the couple going out of their way to accommodate the behavior and whims of the other half of the couple. And they're obviously unhappy about it, but what can you do at that point? Do you have to break up? What's your counsel in those situations?
I've met with a lot of married couples, or couples that were engaged, who came and said to me, once we started living together, he wasn't like that. Once I got to know her, she wasn't like that. Everything changed. And right away, you realize that people are trying to please, and it doesn't ever work. It always comes out in the end that he that troubles his own house shall inherit the wind. And so if you act like a super good, great guy, and that's not you, you might get into a relationship with someone and eventually it's going to fall apart. It's going to come back as a disaster. The best place is start at the beginning. These are my habits. This is who I am. And I'm polite and I'm nice. And I want to make things good for you. However, not to the point that it either hurts me or I have to spend all my time thinking about, wait a minute, what do I do now? Oh, what is he like? Oh, what is she like? Oh, not that color, not that. That always has a bad ending. We have to have the courage to say, this is what I do. This is how I am. I want people to like me. However, I do have the courage to be disliked because many people out there are judging, and I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to be in the game, Joe.
Well, I know there's one thing I like, and that's you, Rabbi. And despite your many flaws, I still think of you as the kind of person who's always a good guy. Thank you, as always, for your advice. I will try to keep it in mind in my day-to-day dealing.
Just monitor our own behaviors and see how it works. See how much time we spend before and after we say and do something. And have the courage because not everyone's going to like us for just being us.